I'm becoming very concerned with the extremes that people are peddling out there, especially coming from the Advaita Vedanta camp. Those who live by the ideology that non-dualism is the only way to look at things. To many people who are not aware of this practice or any type of meditation, suffering in a world where observer and observed is a salient dichotomy is a very gross reality. I've heard many forms of passive victim blaming along the lines of misery is the invention of the mind, but that isn't something that anyone would say to someone undergoing domestic violence, for instance. We have to consider that feeling miserable might be a useful feeling that impels people to do something about their unfavourable circumstances. I mean, sure, you don't have to dwell on it any more than you need to, but I wouldn't be so dismissive of it as another form of necessity, especially in a Darwinian context. Fear, for instance, is also a useful necessity, evolutionarily speaking. Most people are not advanced meditators and would succumb under hardship because the default mode of their minds is all they know. For them, circumstance absolutely triggers the misery that they cannot help but experience because they are not ready for it. Victim blaming, whatever form it takes, is a lack of compassion. It's unfair to blame people for their traumatic experiences and how they are subsequently affected by them. Of course, everything happens in the mind, but it takes knowing oneself in order to deal with inner storms triggered by external events. And some people don't have the luxury that most of us in the developed world have, thus making it easier for us to reframe different forms of pain and suffering. In fact, even in developed nations, you have people who have a harder time dealing with their stormy minds, such as neurodivergent individuals or those afflicted with paranoid schizophrenia. The sailor doesn't always master the sea, but it's also true to say that rough seas can make an excellent sailor. To avoid extreme views that lack compassion, and for a healthier practice in meditation and visualization, check out the Non-Physical channel by Claudio Soprano.